Hi, it's Ash again. I hope you're having a good week. Basically, this video is a vlog of Bedford Art Market. I sold with them for the first time last year. I think you can go back actually and see my vlog from my first experience selling with them. It's probably my favourite market that I've ever done. So I was really happy to go back and sell with them again. And I wanted to bring some new stuff this time, so I made an original to bring and to sell, which I filmed the process of making, so we're going to watch that first. And then also a little journal kind of notebook section is in there as well, because I got a Delfonics pouch, stationery pouch for my notebooks and for my stationery. So I filmed unboxing that and setting it up, so I'm really excited about that. Yeah, without further ado, we'll get into the video. Hello again, it's voiceover Ash here. We're pretty much going straight into me making this original. It was a little clip from a cafe from the other day, because there's a new cafe opened in our town and in our town centre, and you know I love a cafe, so we had to go, and it was really nice actually. It was really nice in there. For this original, I really just wanted to have fun and mess around, and really I didn't put any pressure on myself when I made this, it felt really nice. I hoped that I would make something I liked enough to sell and to bring to the market and sell as an original, but really there was no pressure to. I had enough stock, so this would have been just a bonus. And I started with flowers. Like, I wanted to draw a flower. I've really been loving tulips. I think they're out of season now. We're starting to get into summer. They're more of a spring flower, but I really like tulips. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go with the tulip. And I forgot how much fun working traditionally with like different mediums is. Normally at the minute when I'm working traditionally, it's in my ink sketchbook, and it's just with my ink pens, and that's it. So I haven't really done any other kind of mediums for a while, and I forgot how fun it is, especially oil pastel. I really like the texture of them, the creaminess. It almost feels like crayon in a way, but more evolved, if that makes sense. You get that same kind of grainy texture, the creaminess of it, but you can build up that layer of texture, build up that layer of color much easier with oil pastel. At this point I was like, okay, I have a flower, I like the flower. What's the flower gonna be in? Okay, we're gonna draw a little glass, a little blue glass. And it's quite nice because when you're working with traditional mediums like this, you're limited to the color palette that you have. This set that I'm using here, I've had for so long, like I think probably a decade at this point, and I bring them out when I feel like it, but not very often. I'm working with like a limited palette like this. It kind of frees you in a way, because when I'm working digitally, you can literally use any color, and that's great, but it really, using a limited palette, it just frees you up from having to make those choices of color. At this point I realized that I like where this is going, but let's plan it out a little bit, because if I'm going to make this more complicated than it already is, we kind of want to plan out that composition. So I bust out my ink sketchbook, did a little sketch of what we had, and I was like, I want to add cats. I want to add cats to this, and I like playing around with whimsy and fantasy and silliness. So I was like, I want these cats to be really tiny. I want these tiny cats next to this seemingly big tulip in this glass. And I did this piece like all in one afternoon. Pretty much, actually, I did most of it in an afternoon. Then I went back and finished some added pieces. But it was just really fun. I just sat and we had, I think we were watching like old Filza videos in the background. It was just really nice. I think I've got to a really good place at the minute with my artwork, where I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm just making things that I want to make and enjoying the process. And then when you do that, it turns out that you actually end up making better things that you can actually then use as like prints or products, or you can share online. So it's like I'm in this like almost positivity spiral with my art, where I'm like putting less pressure on myself, so I'm enjoying the things I'm making. So then I feel more comfortable sharing them because I like the things that I make, and then it makes me want to create more, and it's really nice. Oh god, I started doing the cat and I was stressed. I was so stressed. Mainly because with oil pastel, you can't really layer darker color. You can't put lighter color on top of dark. And I wanted these cats to be little black cats. And I was like, if I mess this up, then I'm kind of done. Like, you can't go back and fix this. But I'm happy with the way they turned out. I think they're really sweet. I'm like trying to find the edge, the sharpest current edge of the oil pastel, because as you go, it'll flatten. And then you need to use more of it to then create like another sharp edge to use for detailing. And this tiny cat is basically all detail, except for the like central bit. There we go, using the flattened edge. Very cute. I really do love this color palette. Like it's so saturated and bright and lovely. And I'm working in this like sketchbook that I've had for a while. I don't really use it as a sketchbook, because it's kind of nicer paper, and it's nice and perforated, so I can just pull out the sheets. So I kind of use it as paper for like original pieces like this. And speaking of sketchbooks, my new sketchbook just arrived for when I finish my ink one that I'm working on. And I'm really, really excited. I think I spoke about it in my last video. Currently, I'm only working with ink pen in my sketchbook. That's the project I'm working on. And it's been really helpful. Like I said, limiting yourself and your mediums really helps like free up the decision making for the art itself. Especially working with pen and no pencil means you can't erase. You can't get caught up in like rubbing out a million times to make it perfect. You just have to accept that the drawing is what it is and move on. And that was really good for me when I was in a drawing slump, because you can't overthink it. You get the ugly drawing out of you, and then you move on to the next one and hope that it's better, which has been really, really great for me. But I'm in a good place drawing wise, so I don't think I need that limitation to help me anymore. I want to be working in different mediums. I want to be back in pencils again. I want to be painting in my sketchbook. I want to be working with color. I just want to experiment. I think that was kind of the urge to make this original as well, was like just really wanting to do something different. So I'm really excited to finish my sketchbook and start that new one. I got the Nina Cosford sketchbook. I know it's really popular. People love it. And it's like the perfect size to go in my Delfonics pouch, actually, which I just got. I'm really happy about that. Like, I measured the Delfonics pouch and then I looked up the sizes of the sketchbook and I was like, I really hope this fits. And it fits perfect. I mean, not perfect. I can't zip it up. But I don't really zip up the pouch anyway because I like having access to it. So yeah, I think we'll do a video finishing up my ink sketchbook soon at some point. I'm still using it pretty regularly. So here I'm just like working out composition. I'm like, I want to add more cats. Where do they need to go to even out this composition? I'm like, I want one. We have one on the floor. I'm gonna have one hanging off this pot, and then I think I put one hanging off the leaf as well, the stem. I've been really liking my ink sketchbook for planning out compositions and figuring out illustrations like this, or like figuring out elements of illustrations. Like if I can't get a pose right, I'll just draw it out a couple of times in my sketchbook until I'm happy with it. Which again, like the ink, the idea of ink really helps with that. Like you don't need to go over the same pencil drawing 50 million times. You just start again. Like with ink, ink encourages you to just try it again. And you can draw over ink, like I'm doing here. Like, I really didn't like that one. It takes me a while to get this pose right. That's the thing with really simple illustrations. They're deceptive. You'd think that because it looks so simple that it's really easy. But the thing about simplicity is to communicate what you want. Every single line has to be right. It has to evoke whatever you want it to be. And I really wanted these cats to be really silly and kind of whimsical. And especially because I wasn't going to do like emotions or like faces to them. I wanted their poses to be right. I'm still kind of unhappy with like I didn't like how their tails came out. I think that's just because of how small they are. Doing it with the oil pastel, the chunky oil pastel, was kind of difficult. But I'm happy with them. I think they're cute. I think at this point I googled like cat hanging or something so I could find references of cats in this position, which really helped. Because cats have these funny legs that you think are completely straight, they're not straight. You put that sketchbook to the side and start working on the piece again. I definitely want to do more originals, probably some in oil pastel, but I might do some ink, maybe some pencil. I don't know. We'll see what I feel like working on. I really want to, in the next couple of weeks, finish up some digital illustrations that I've been working on. I think I've mentioned it before, how much I feel like I start working on stuff and then I get distracted or I get excited about something else and I start a new illustration and then nothing ever ends up finished. And I'm learning that that's fine. It's okay to leave things unfinished. Like if you don't have the motivation or the passion for the illustration anymore, it's okay to leave it. But I don't want it to be that I never finish anything. And I think this original was an exercise in finishing something. I started it and finished it in a day, or within like 24 hours. And it felt so good. It felt so cathartic to finish something, especially so soon after starting it. I think because it's a fairly simple project, whereas a lot of my digital illustrations are more involved. And again, with digital, I can erase things and go back, and that means I can spend theoretically like an infinite amount of time on them. Whereas with an oil pastel like this, when it's done, it's done. You kind of can't keep going over it. There's nothing left to do when it's done, because the oil just won't take. So I think I need to transfer some of these traditional lessons over into my digital practice. I think I forgot to film the drawing the third cat, so I'm sorry about that. But here's a different angle. You can really see from this angle like the texture of the oil pastel. Like you can still see glimmers of the white paper through it. Oh, it's so nice. I really like digital brushes that like have that kind of effect where you can, I don't know what it's called, there is a term for it, where there's like little gaps, little edges. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But these colors, man, they're just so good. It was this point I was like trying to work out what I should do with the background. I really couldn't decide. I actually put up, I took pictures of the piece at this point and then played around with it on my iPad to see, in Procreate, to see like what options I had. I tried some with little stars. I tried a full background. And then I did a poll on my Instagram stories to see which one people liked more. It was kind of split. But I think a lot of people liked like a full background idea. And once I realized I had two different yellows in this set, and one was a sort of brighter, deeper yellow that I'd been using for the tulips. And I thought about using that for the background, but it wasn't quite right. And then I realized that I had like a paler yellow. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing a full background because this is like the perfect color. And I'm really happy I did. It came out really nice. I have a lot of projects that I want to work on, like bigger projects, that I've been thinking about and I've had ideas for in the background. And I haven't really had the confidence or like been in the place to start on them. I keep starting the illustrations or like thinking about it, or I get more ideas, but they've kind of just been sat in the background. But I think I'm finally in the place where I want to work on them again. Like I want to start these larger projects. Like I have these characters that I want to do some narrative work for, some illustrations. There's products that I want to make, and series, and doing a series of illustrations together. And I feel really excited about it. I feel really motivated. I think I'm in the place artistically now where I'm feeling good about my work, and that's giving me the motivation to try and do these larger projects. I'm so happy I decided to do this background, by the way. It was kind of difficult to go around the edging and make sure the oil pastel, like the colors didn't bleed into each other, but it turned out so good. I'm so happy with the result. So if you gave your opinion or voted on Instagram on what I should do with this background, thank you, because it really did help me work out what I should do. I actually mounted this piece in like an aperture frame. It looks really good. You'll see it in the art market footage because I took this with me. It didn't sell at the market, so it's now up for sale on my Etsy shop if you're interested. If you like this piece, you can own it. It can be in your home. I'm excited to see where this ends up, this piece, because I'm really happy with it. It makes me really happy just looking at it. And I was already having like a really good and happy afternoon working on this piece. Like I was in a really good mood. And then the postman came and my Delfonics arrived and I was ecstatic. Like I'd been waiting for this thing for weeks. I treated myself to it. I was just so happy, like just so excited to have this place for my notebooks to be and for my stationery to be. Because so far they just sit in a pile. And this thing is so pretty. Like it's so well made and it has so many pockets. If you're thinking about getting a Delfonics, you really should. They're really worth it. It opens so wide as well, like on the inside. It's way bigger than you would think. My notebooks and my journal, my sketchbooks, they're like such a huge hobby of mine. Like I spend so much time on them and I spend so much time thinking about them and they make me so happy. That this like investing in that hobby, this little pouch, I know it kind of seems silly, but it really does make me happy. My current sketchbook, my current ink sketchbook and my journal going in there, they just fit so well. It makes me so happy. And there's room for more. Like if I was reading something, I could put my book in there. This is my brain drain notebook. So basically it is what it is. It's where I write out anything I'm thinking of, any random thing, and then if I deal with whatever that thought was, I'll cross it off later. And then just loading up all the pouches with like my favorite stationery that I use. Mainly Muji pens. I'm a Muji stan. I love Muji pens. And then my favorite highlighter, which I think is a Stabilo. And then that pink one is a Sharpie highlighter. Oh my god. My Post-it notes, I like freaked out because they fit in this pouch like perfectly. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know what the standard size of Post-its are. I don't know, but it fit perfectly and it made me so happy. I didn't even use up all the pockets. Like I still have like I think half the pockets, especially like the back ones. There's so many. Like when they call it a utility pouch, it really is. There's just so many spaces. I put in my little sticker tweezers, a ruler. I love this ruler. This is my favorite ruler, my Tiger ruler. I'm really like the stripes are starting to scratch off and I'm going to be so sad when eventually it all comes off. So I'm really trying to look after it. This little badge that I think I got from Lush. I'm not sure. Look, it has these little side tags so you can use it as a bag by putting a strap. They sell straps that you can put. But I think I'm going to put charms on the end. And then my little page markers, they're cats, they're really cute. Oh my god, this thing just makes me so happy. Look at that thing. It's so nice. It's just a nice thing. Okay, market day. Kieran always comes with me to these and helps me out, which I'm really appreciative of. He always helps me lug my bags around, and then he filmed for me on this day. Plus, he always has to deal with like really stressed monkey me in the morning when I'm setting up, which ironically, setting up is one of my favorite parts. It's just really fun. It feels like decorating in a way, but it's also really stressful because you're on a time crunch. Especially with like lugging all the stuff, finding parking, which normally is not very close. But the actual setup is really fun. Bedford is one of like my favorite markets. These A-boards that they provide are so good, and it's so interesting to see how like every single artist that there uses them differently. Everyone's displays are so different from each other. It's really nice to see like the diversity of art that ends up being displayed. And you can see my original there. I was so happy with it. It looks so good in that little aperture frame. I'm really hoping someone picks it up because I love it. It looks pretty sunny in these clips. Like, it was sunny in the morning when we got there, but it ended up being quite a gloomy and windy day, which is kind of a shame. So the traffic, like the foot traffic, was kind of slow. I sold pretty well. I made a profit, so I'm happy. And part of like the really good thing about these days is like talking to other people, like getting your name out there. Speaking with the other artists, especially, like, I'm quite a shy person. I struggle with speaking to strangers, but when you have that common interest, it really helps. And the artists there are always so friendly. Like, Bedford Market has one of the best communities around it that I've ever seen. The community is really unparalleled. Everyone's so supportive of each other and so excited when someone makes a sale. Everyone's really kind, so it's meeting the artists there, talking with everyone. It's really nice. And on this day, actually, my parents came to see me and surprised me. They haven't been to one of my markets before because I usually go quite far away. There aren't the local markets aren't as good. And even Bedford's like 45 minutes to an hour away from where we live, so it was really, really nice of them to come and to see me and surprise me. It was really nice to have their support. And I had a slightly different setup this time. I have this like set of drawers on wheels thing. It's actually, normally it's in our lounge as our stand for the record player, but I nicked it. I stole it to use this as a little checkout cashier station for myself. It has the drawers filled with all my spare stock, and then my iPad attached to my sum up so that I can quickly put in whatever the person's bought and then check them out on the sum up. And it worked really well. I had some stuff on sale, which went really well. I was trying to clear out old stock. And I'm actually running the same sale on my Etsy shop, if you're interested. Trying to get rid of some of the older stock so I can make way for new products. I'm so happy with how like my little stall looked. It makes me really happy. I always come away from these days feeling really motivated and proud of myself and just excited to make more work. So even just for that feeling alone, they're worth doing. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, I'm just feeling positive about my work recently, which is really nice. Oh my god, the dogs. Obligatory dog footage. There's always so many dogs at this market specifically. Like, we were joking that we could play like a bingo game with all the breeds that there were. It just makes me so happy. And I'm actually back at Bedford Market in August. If you're interested, if you're local, you should come say hi. I'll put the details on my Instagram. that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a long one, but yeah, I really liked this video. I've enjoyed making it. My next video should be out soon because I've already filmed it. I just need to edit. And that's going to be a tattoo vlog, actually, because I got my first tattoo recently. We made a special day trip to Paris to get it done, and I'm really happy with it. So I filmed that experience, or at least most of my trip to Paris, so that will be the next vlog. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You can leave a like, leave a comment, tell me how your week is going. Currently, as of filming right now, I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers, and that's really amazing. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really happy that people are enjoying my videos, so thank you very much. Yeah, bye.